Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Hostile and toxic. That's how some former employees describe the working environment in the office of the Bexar County District Attorney. What else some of those former employees had to say. And do you or someone you love depend on Medicaid? There's some changes coming that you're going to want to know about, so don't risk losing coverage. But first tonight, schools will be closing. Harlandale ISD will be closing 4 elementary schools. The vote passed tonight 4-3. The school board listened to public comments for more than an hour. The board voted on option B, which is the repurposing of Columbia Heights, Morrill, Rayburn, and Carroll Bell elementary schools. Many people upset about the pending decision. A board member expresses this benefit that this whole move could make.
The potential merging of resources will allow us to invest in people and programs that can enhance the opportunities that we can provide for our students. In turn, that investment in our students will trickle down where they can excel and eventually contribute to our.
No details were given about the schools that will be repurposed for now. Each of the schools closing operating on at least 50% capacity. And Harlandale ISD, not the only school district having discussions about school closures. Just last week, the South San Antonio ISD Board of Trustees voted in favor of closing 3 campuses in its district: Kazan Middle School, Athens Elementary, and Kindred Elementary. Well, just months into the second term of Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez, employees resigning from his office describe a hostile and toxic work environment hampered by harassment, a lack of communication, and a lack of accountability. KSAT Investigates Dylan Collier reviewed more than 100 resignation letters and exit interviews from staffers, many of whom teed off on the DA on their way out the door.
Just days before being sworn in as judge for Bexar County Court 2, former prosecutor Melissa Sines laid out complaints in her exit interview, which included criticism of an administration with policies on how to handle cases that were never in writing, that the chief of family violence operates based on favoritism, and would even communicate to others private emails sent to her. In a phone interview, Judge Sines said, quote, "What my statement says is what happened." As departures from the Bexar County District Attorney's office stacked up last year, so did the complaints. KSAT Investigates spoke with more than a dozen former employees for this story. Their experiences in the office were included in the drove of resignation letters and written exit interviews released to us following a public information request. And while a lack of competitive pay pushed many employees away, the records show the issues run much deeper than that. Like the prosecutor who wrote she was passed over for promotion likely because of her military service and was discriminated and retaliated against. Or the advocate who described the office's lack of leadership.
Don McGraw, who has been working on this case for 3.5 years.
Even Don McCraw, whose work as lead prosecutor on the Michelle Barrientos Vela public corruption trial landed the DA one of the biggest victories of his first term in office, had some choice words for administration upon her retirement, telling us in a phone interview leadership gave no clear resolution when asked for help, and that she wanted leaders who led by example. KSAT Investigates sent multiple emails to DA Gonzalez's communication staff asking for an interview with him for this story. After not hearing back, we showed up to a town hall on homelessness he was scheduled to speak at, even though the release said panelists would be available for interviews before the event began.
A couple topics real quick. We're told the media before.
We'll have to wait till after.
The district attorney instead retreated with his handlers to a back room, emerging 20 minutes later, still in no mood to talk to us.
DA, this is our last attempt to contact you. Can we talk for 90 seconds about the personnel issues in your office?
No, afterwards I said I'll give you
And
some
I've got to pick my daughter up from soccer. I've got
I'm
a
sorry to
family
hear
just
that.
like you. We were told that you would be available before the event, so that's why we're here. We've emailed your office for weeks.
I'm sorry that you were told that, Chief. How are you? But I've got to respect what we're doing here tonight. And
so no comment on the complaints against you and your administration by former employees?
I don't know what you're talking about, complaints.
Leaving questions about the workplace culture in the DA's office unanswered, just months into his second term. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
Our investigation comes the same day that DA Gonzalez released data on pay disparity. A statement from his office calls the effort to recruit and retain employees, quote, almost insurmountable, end quote. The statement goes on to cite exit interviews with former prosecutors saying 92% named salary as a reason for leaving. Gonzalez's office says increasing salary is his top priority in next year's budget. Want to get to some breaking news right now unfolding on Lombrano Street near North Zarzamora, not far from Alasan Creek, where we have a crew on the scene of a reported shooting. Patty Santos is there now. Patty, what do we know at this point?
Tonight for the residents here at the Lincoln Heights courts. The scene is still very active behind me here, but we want to show you video of what just took place just a little while ago. We know that 4 people were taken out of an apartment here, including 2 babies. So 2 males, 2 females, and 2 babies. And this is what police are able to confirm just minutes ago. They know that there was a man that was shot in the chest inside his vehicle, a man in about his 30s. He was pronounced dead. The police then moved in to get people from the apartment complex out. At this point, they're not calling them suspects. They just want to talk to him to find out exactly what happened and who might be responsible for that. But I got a chance to talk to some of the neighbors. They tell me there was about 6 shots that were heard, and then police arrived. We're going to continue to stay on the scene here and bring more as we get it. We'll send it back to you.
Dramatic video of those kids being taken out of that apartment. Thank you, Patty.
Be advised, stay out of the general area of Burton Hills Road to find active shooter.
My son and I survived a mass shooting over the summer. I am in Tennessee on a family vacation.
We have to do more to stop gun violence. It's ripping our communities apart, ripping the soul of this nation, ripping at the very soul of the nation. And we have to do more to protect our schools so they aren't turned into prisons.
The fallout continues after the latest school shooting in America. We're learning more about the shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville today that killed 3 9-year-old students and 3 adults. Police said the shooter was a 28-year-old former student of the school who was killed during the shootout with police. Officers say the suspect had pre-planned the shooting by drawing detailed maps of the school. They believe the suspect shot through one of the doors to actually get into the building. Today's deadly shooting, just the latest in a horrific trend, according to the Gun Violence Archive. This is the 129th mass shooting in the United States this year. The news of yet another deadly shooting at a school brings up painful memories of the tragedy at Robb Elementary in Uvalde. State Senator Roland Gutierrez issuing a statement today saying in part, quote, the Covenant School shooting is yet another tragic reminder of the urgent need for common sense gun safety laws in our country. The fact that our children are not safe in our schools is flat out unacceptable. We as elected officials must take bold action to prevent gun violence and protect our communities. There is no place for this in the greatest country on earth. It saddens me deeply to have to express this sentiment time and time again, end quote. And speaking of this shooting in Uvalde, ABC News is reporting it took Nashville police 14 minutes from the first 911 call to confront and take on that shooter. Much different than the 77 minutes it took in Uvalde in the hallways of Robb Elementary. This is a story we're going to continue to follow closely. We'll bring you updates both on air and online. Brennan High School is making news again. This after a student was arrested for having a weapon and drugs on school grounds. No threats were made against that school. No one was hurt. According to Northside ISD officials, a search of the student's vehicle uncovered the weapon and THC vape pens. Just last week, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office said it would have an increased presence at Brennan and Southwest High Schools due to recent drug and gun-related incidents there. Have you seen this woman? She's been missing since January 18th, and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office is asking if you know where she is. She's 50-year-old Cindy Stevens. She was last seen on Rainbow Basin Street in Converse on the northeast side. She's 5'5", has blue eyes and brown hair, and we're told she does have a medical condition. If you know where she might be, you're asked to call BCSO at 210-335-6000. Now for a look at some of today's big headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. An update on a deadly shooting involving U.S. Marshals on Friday. 46-year-old Michael Anthony Ollis was actually shot and killed on the 3rd floor of the parking garage at the Doubletree Hotel on Cesar Chavez. The Department of Public Safety says he was wanted by New Braunfels police on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. She wouldn't let him spend the night, so he set her car on fire. That's according to an arrest affidavit for 38-year-old Jose Espinoza. Police say Espinoza admitted to setting that car on fire. He was arrested yesterday, now being charged with arson. And today marks 46 years since the deadliest aviation accident in history. It happened on the small Atlantic island of Tenerife. A total of 583 people killed in a disastrous chain of events that included fog and poor communication. You can read more about it right now over on KSAT.com. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
A few showers have popped up outside far east of San Antonio. You get near Gonzales, Luling, the I-10 corridor east of town. Just a few highly isolated and generally light little showers. But we are expecting more to develop periodically through the night tonight. Off to the west, actually a few thunderstorms. Northern Edwards County, a little bit of lightning and thunder with those downpours north of Rock Springs, and even one thunder shower dissipated around Lakey. Check out this storm. This actually split in Mexico in this section heading north toward Lake Amistad, just north of Del Rio. So it's splitting around Del Rio, but headed toward the Devil's River there. We'll talk about more rain chances tonight, tomorrow, and even the rest of this week, along with big temperature swings, and get ready for some gusty winds. Time that out for you in a bit.
Thank you, Adam. All right, don't lose your Medicaid coverage. Some changes just around the corner. What you need to know beforehand, and the deadline's coming up. We'll tell you about it. And we've been talking a lot about President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. It's facing new challenges tonight. It's up next. President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program may face a new threat before the U.S. Supreme Court actually rules on whether it can be carried out. You see 3 Republican senators planning to introduce a resolution to overturn Biden's debt relief program. President Biden's program promises up to $20,000 of debt relief for eligible borrowers. It's currently blocked. The U.S. Supreme Court expected to issue its ruling on the program in late June or early July. Continuous Medicaid eligibility ends this Friday. That means if you still need Medicaid, you need to re-enroll and fill out a lengthy form to reapply. The Night Team's Patty Santos tells us some people may lose their benefits.
I don't know what we would do without Medicaid right now, because just his food alone is so expensive because he's on a special formula. I don't think we could afford to even feed him.
Medicaid is a huge help for Lily Quintanilla. Her 6-year-old has a disability, making it crucial that she stay on top of any changes to the Medicaid program.
It's what keeps him alive, and it's what allows him to get the medical care that he needs, the machines that he has at home, so that we can keep up with his medical care daily and keep him out of the hospital.
It's families like hers that Yvonne Garcia, counseling coordinator at Alamo Area Council of Government, wants this story to reach.
We help the older population, those who are 60 years of age or older, those who are disabled, and their family.
Continuous Medicaid eligibility ends March 31st. All families will now have to reapply to determine if they are eligible based on federal law changes. Recipients should have received a yellow packet in the mail last month.
The application is 20 pages, so it can be time-consuming, it can be confusing. So we are, again, certified to be able to assist with applications.
She's worried families will miss the deadline and their coverage will end.
There's really not a lot of people who are calling in regard to the yellow packet that they're getting in the mail, so that scares me.
Some Medicaid patients could lose or see a reduction in benefits. Others will be pushed towards the federal marketplace.
Some common mistakes on the application is not filling it out entirely.
The application can be filled out online on your Texas Benefits webpage, or you can call ACOG for help. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
All right, I got a quiz for you. What do you call baby sloths?
Pup.
I wasn't asking you. All right, you're looking at a live view from Sky 12 over the San Antonio Zoo. It's actually the parking garage there. 2 sloth pups will be named tomorrow at the zoo. The community had the chance this month to donate, to vote, to help name those pups. We'll introduce them tomorrow. And after that comment, I'm hoping one of them's named Kasky.
You looked over at me.
Kasky the sloth.
You looked over
That would be
at
good.
Let's do the forecast. Right?
Because you're really anything but a sloth, I've got to tell you that.
Don't give me caffeine, I'm telling you. All right, let's get right to it. We have a lot to talk about here. First of all, our temperature swings that I mentioned before. Today we were 80 for the high temperature. Tomorrow we're down to 70. Wednesday, 65 is the warmest we'll get. And then we see the temperatures on the upward swing again. And Friday into the weekend, we're talking back into the 80s. Now, we mentioned some of those showers earlier, some very light activity east of San Antonio and then along the Rio Grande as well. But this is just very light stuff in and around Gonzales County, basically between Seguin and Gonzales. You see a few of those light showers, and that's about it. Let's get to our future cast, the latest run of this, and I think it's missing out on a little bit of the activity that's east of town this evening, and I think more will pop up overnight. But what it does display, I think, nicely is the fact that more showers and storms will be developing throughout the day tomorrow. Don't pay close attention to the exact placement of the showers and storms, just the mere fact that it's developing them. So, for example, 4 o'clock tomorrow, if you're in Bandera, don't count on this exactly hitting you in Bandera, but somewhere in our area we'll be having some of those isolated showers and thunderstorms developing. Not exactly a drought busting situation or even really drought denting, but we'll take, of course, all that we can get. And those, slight rain chances, the isolated to very widely separated showers, those chances last through tomorrow evening. 30% tomorrow, and then daily rain chances Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But it's only 20%. I wish I had better news. We just don't have any large-scale system to move in and cause widespread numerous showers. It's just not in the works right now. We do have some noticeable changes, though, and that's because of a cold front's dropping southward. And that cold front's going to kick up the wind. Not much of a breeze currently, actually calm at many reporting sites. That's going to change very quickly. Here's our futurecast. The north wind is going to kick in overnight. First thing in the morning, you'll notice wind gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour. So becoming very gusty. Steady winds out of the north at 10 to 20, and those gusts at times around 40 miles per hour. And that's going to be the case through the daylight hours tomorrow. And then the wind will taper off a little bit after sunset. And that's going to change our dew points as well. You felt a little stickiness today. Not so much tomorrow. Dew points back down in the lower 40s. Wednesday, still a lack of mugginess in the air, but by Thursday and Friday, the humidity's back for a few days before another drop. So not only are temperatures going up and down, but our dew points and the mugginess level will be going up and down quite a bit as well. 60 degrees at 7 a.m. By noon, we're at 67, then a high temperature of only 70 degrees with that 30% chance. So basically just little random isolated showers and thunderstorms popping up here and there throughout the day tomorrow and even into tomorrow evening. Tomorrow, south side of town, 72 at Stinson Airport. Bernie, 67 along with Helotes for the high temperature. Even cooler Wednesday, mid-60s, and notice very cloudy throughout the rest of this week. Not a whole lot in terms of sunshine.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Let's talk about Rodney Terry now. Should be a familiar name to Longhorn fans.
Yeah, because after they had to let Chris Beard go, Rodney Terry stepped in as interim head coach for Texas men's basketball team. And when the team could have probably crumbled, he did not let them, leading them to their first Elite 8 in 15 years. So you know what? It's official. They promoted him to head coach. That's pretty darn cool. And Jerry Jones is not closing the door on Zeke's possible return coming up. It's official. Texas hired Rodney Terry as head coach of the men's basketball team. Texas men's basketball tweeted, "Our guy is our guy." The 26th head coach of the Texas Longhorns is Rodney Terry. It's a reported 5-year deal worth $15.3 million. He was an assistant for UT from 2002 to 2011 before leaving for other opportunities. He returned to Texas in 2021 as an assistant, and then back in December he was promoted to interim head coach after Chris Beard was suspended and then fired. Under Terry, the Horns went 22-8, won the Big 12 championship tournament, and advanced to the Elite 8, where they lost 88-81 to Miami last night. During post, he was asked what will stand out about this group in particular.
I think just the way this group handled adversity. You know, they were probably the most challenged team of any team in the country this season, and they just stayed the course every single day. We stayed in the top 10 all year long. And it's a testament to these guys and their chemistry that they had all season long and playing for one another. They were truly a team.
Former Texas basketball players Kevin Durant and TJ Ford both tweeted their happiness with UT promoting Terry. Before the Spurs lost at the Celtics yesterday, head coach Greg Popovich held his normal pregame presser. He was asked about a number of topics, including his former point guard, Derek White. The Spurs drafted him in the first round in 2017 and then traded him to Boston in February 2022. Pop said Derek is a very special case and that over time he figured out that he belongs. Pop has nothing but love for D. White.
In development, he was just outstanding. He spent a lot of time before and after practices and summer leagues and learning how to play. He had the size that you could see. He had the size at that position to do it. And the immediate thing that you could see was that he had an instinctive nose for the game. He understood how to play. Most NBA players don't know how to play. He did.
Pop and the Spurs will host the Jazz Wednesday night at 7, the Spurs' last home game this season at the AT&T Center. In women's college basketball, Iowa guard Caitlin Clark is coming off one of the greatest performances in NCAA tournament history, helping Iowa end a 30-year Final Four drought. She had 41 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds in the Hawkeyes' 97-83 win versus Louisville Sunday night. She's the first player in NCAA tournament history, men's or women's, to record a 40-point triple-double. Very impressive, but she couldn't do it without her teammates.
I just thought I played a pretty balanced game. 12 assists. That's my teammates making shots right there. McKenna was huge in the first half. They were kind of helping off of her, doubling onto me, and, she made some big shots for us. And then I thought Gabby was tremendous in the second half, and then Mon came up big too for us. So a total team effort, and I pride myself in doing a lot of different things for this team. And, this is probably the biggest game I played in, but I honestly felt it was one of the most calmest I've ever felt before a basketball game in my life. I believed and I visualized to be in this press conference with a hat and a shirt around me, so here we are.
Caitlin and the Hawkeyes will next face South Carolina Friday night in the Final Four, and Jerry Jones is leaving the door open for Zeke after the break. Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones said today he'd love to still have running back Ezekiel Elliott on his roster, but the boys had no other choice than to cut him to make their salary cap work and to make the team better. Zeke's $10.9 million base salary and $16.7 million cap hit were just too much for them. Today at the NFL owners' meetings in Arizona, Jones was asked how close did he come to sitting down with Zeke to say, let's work it out and find a way to stay. And that's when Jerry opened up that the door for Zeke's possible return.
That was on the table, and you might say that to some degree that hasn't changed and won't until he signs someplace else.
Down the line, he's available, you have a need, you could revisit that?
I don't want to ever, and I don't want to leave him hanging, our fans hanging, or anybody, but I wouldn't take any possibility off the table.
Elliott is still free to sign with another team, but according to reports, the free agent back hasn't received much interest.
The most important attribute I look for is that how's his leadership style, right? How are those other 10 guys looking? Can they look at you in the huddle and know that, man, we can count on this guy to make a play?
That's Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans on the most important thing he looks for in a quarterback. They have the second overall pick in the 2023 draft, and most feel they will draft C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, both young quarterbacks.
Interesting.
Yep.
Do you have a preference on this too?
It doesn't matter to me. I just want the Texans to get better.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Larry. We'll be right back. That does it for the Night Beat. Don't forget, Good Morning San Antonio starts at 4:30. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.